What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with End-Up podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster. I'm excited to chop it up with you today. What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a great day. We got episode 151, Perceived Value versus Actual Value. Now, for me, this is a really short and simple podcast, but not let me forget my manners. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here. For my worldwide listeners, my subscribers, thank you so much for rocking with me. You keep me going. All right, y'all, let's get into this podcast. This is real short. As you can see, it's a simple, easy, short podcast. I got my notes right here, so for those that are watching, I'm just looking down on my iPad, okay? So perceived value versus actual value. So perceived value, you probably may have guessed that perceived value is when someone will pay astronomically high rates for something, right? And they could be very well justified, right? You know, we shoot. There's things that you are willing to pay for, you know, that you're going to pay for some money for. But let's get down to it. Perceived value means that if it's a high perceived value, and people are getting what they're paying for, that means they have a great brand. They have a true and tested method, a tried, true, tested method of longevity. They have it for quality. They have demand, and they have customer satisfaction. So these things have a high perceived value because a lot of people want it and it solves their problems. Now, the actual value of something, it's not obviously, I need to also say and preface it by saying people that can pay the perceived value of anything, they got money. They can afford to splurge. Say, on going out to a meal, they don't care if it's $100 per person. When someone says, look, my budget is $20 a person. Let's not get it twisted. We're going to the local spot, right? This could be anything. As my mom said, though, you get what you pay for. But when it comes to marketing, if your price is not in alignment with the value that you're solving for the people, here's where the actual value, people are going to say, I'm not paying for that. As a website developer, designer, whatever you want to call it, we do websites for companies, I will say this is the cost of a website. My prices are on my own website, but this is the price of it, and here's what you get from it. Now, I started off with, I think the cheapest website I built was for $300. I had other clients that spent way more, and those clients have, like, one thing that hurt me is they just deleted it. When a company paying for a $300 website, they didn't value it. Even though it cost me more time to create it, it wasn't valuable. Now, I can have listed a ton more, and I'm not going to go into it because that's client confidentiality. But here's where the actual value of something that you're offering, it does have, say, the value that you're comparing to others. But for the luxurious brands, the brands that have a better reputation, you understand that they have a tested, tried, and true method of ensuring that the quality that goes out on their products is by far and large a distance. And some people might not be into that, which is totally fine. I don't want to pick on other brands. That's why I'm focusing on myself. But you know when you pay top dollar for something and you feel good about it. But there's times where you don't want to pay top dollar, and this is just good enough. So the perceived value that you want to achieve, why I wanted to put this podcast out, is no matter what you do in your business, the perceived value should always be high. And if it's not, well, then you got to change the way you're doing some things. And this could mean that you are just not in alignment with the right people. This could be there's no emotional attachment to these things. Not saying that there has to be, but this is where if you want to increase your value to compete with some of the bigger boys and girls out there, you got to make it to where the solution that is solving is so much easier, right? It's either more convenient, it's more timely, maybe it's cheaper, which that kind of it's hard to say, but some, cheaper might not be the best word, but it's more affordable. Maybe you're just trying to stay exclusive, which is fine too. But this is how you're going to increase your brand demand for it and loyalty for it, because some people don't like paying top dollar for certain foods, but they say, look, I know at the end of the day it's what's best for me. And sometimes it could be in alignment of where you don't have the right partnerships or the collaborations that you need to take it to the next level. So when it comes to making sure that the value you are offering to your client, your customers, whomever they be, you want to ensure that value is where I always like to say I under promise and over deliver, because I never want a client to feel that they felt robbed, jaded, or slighted in some way, that they paid all this money for this product and now they're not getting what they thought they were going to get. So this is where you need to have everything kind of done in a way that makes sense for you to ensure that from start to finish, and hopefully it's not a finish because you're continuously serving those clients, but you are offering a high level of a branded experience to where folks can't get enough of you. And that's the perceived value of where you're offering this product that it takes them over the moon and back, and they love it. And you're like, yeah, it wasn't that much, but I love doing it. And so for you, it's like, it's a grand slam. It's not even a home run. It's a grand slam. It's the one that won the game. And so that's what perceived value is versus the actual value, because an actual value of, I'm just going to say like this mouse right here, right? I know, hopefully you saw that. Here, let me do it this way. This mouse, I'm holding up a mouse. It probably cost me $20 or $30, right? But the value of making it easier for me to work on the computer no matter where I go, it's cordless, right? Those features make things a lot easier and more, what's the word? Oh, shoot, I can't think of the word I want to look for. But I was just going to say more memorable for me to remember, this is what I need. So if you are not being memorable, if it's not a it doesn't have to be life-changing, but if people forget how you made them feel, whew, I mean, you can make them feel some way, but if they don't remember any good, ooh, that's tough. That's tough. So the perceived value should always be where you're giving great quality out there, solving people's problems by over delivering and making sure the customer or your client is happy at the end of the day, or after any time they experience what you are putting in front of them. So with that, y'all, I wish you nothing but the best. So dream big and Godspeed.